Hey guys, I'm Eclipse, and today we're going to talk about the Summit 3. And unfortunately, I wasn't really paying attention to tournament times because the Summit 3 actually starts tomorrow. Kind of wish I made this video a lot faster, but anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about teams and heroes and a bit of predictions for the Summit 3. Anyway, so Summit 3 has two groups, and when I saw these two groups announced, the one thing I saw someone say is seventh eighth place confirmed. Yeah, and I kind of agree with that. I don't see Rave or Not Today doing any damage in this tournament. If one of them does, it'll be a Rave, but the chances are like so ridiculously low. I think Rave should be happy with winning games. And like if they take a game off of every one of these teams, I think they should be happy. Like I think that would be good for them. Not today. I don't see Not Today even winning a game. To be honest, I just don't against these three teams. Because at this tournament, we have basically the six kind of tier one teams right now. You could make a case for Empire to be a seventh, but I don't. I think it's a bit too early to say that right now. But anyway, so really, I don't think Raven Not Today can really compete with these teams. I don't think most tier two teams can compete with these teams at all. Really. And that's actually what makes this tournament really interesting, because these are like top six at TI probably. These are top six teams in the world. These are like almost pretty much never do all these teams end up at the same tournament. I don't know if they're all ending up at ESL. I'd have to check that again. I think yeah, Cloud9 qualified for ESL. Whatever. Worry about that later. Anyway, so let's start. We'll talk about Group A. So, actually, one important thing to note about the summit is 6.84 experience. I looked a little bit around all of the teams, and from what it looks like, the Chinese teams, IG has about 11 games played on the patch, LGD 16, VG 20. So the Chinese teams have a pretty good amount of experience on 6.84, whereas the European teams, EG has, well, this isn't European, but the Western teams, EG hasn't played a single game on the patch. They haven't played since MLG. Cloud9 has played 2 games on the patch, and Secret has played like 8-ish because of Red Bull. So there's a lot more experience on the patch with the Chinese members. However, at the same time, there's very little footage of 6.84 strats for the Chinese teams to look at about the Western teams. The Western teams can basically bring anything, especially EG, because they don't know what the hell. No one knows what the hell the Western team's 6.84 strats are for the most part. Like, they could be absolutely anything, really, which is really awesome, actually. I'm expecting to be surprised a lot. Now, as far as the groups go, Group A is the closer of the groups because, like, basically you can kind of just ignore Rave and Not Today. And the bottom two teams, I believe, get disqualified. I use this somewhere. One team, yeah, top two of each move on to the 14 double elimination bracket. So the bottom two teams in each group get eliminated. Now, honestly, Group A is almost too close to call because I can see all three of those teams are so good. Honestly, like every single one of those teams could easily win and everyone could easily lose. It's not gonna come down to the teams, it's gonna come down to who plays well. And when you consider the fact that EG and Cloud9 haven't even played on the patch, it's really hard to guess who's gonna play well. So I honestly don't really have a prediction I can base in any valid logic of who is knocked out in that group, to be honest. I think most people are expecting it to be Cloud9, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. Like I said, it could be anyone really. Group B is a little bit easier to call, I think. I think Secret is almost definitely gonna win this group, and then it's gonna be between LGD and IG. The match between LGD and IG is gonna be the biggest match in the group. Uh, that's TBD, so I don't know when that's gonna be. But that's pretty interesting actually. I'm curious to see how that works because both these teams are good, and I think it's pretty hard to say which one is more good. I think the other teams are a little bit of a notch ahead of LGD and IG, but I'm not entirely sure which one is the best. And I guess at the same time, like IG beat Cloud9 at Star Ladder, for example. So there's no way to say for sure who the best team out of those two really is. And I think this tournament is going to be uh, showing us which one of those teams is potentially better. Uh, but anyway, the other thing I really want to talk about is heroes. Heroes and strats. Now, like I said, we haven't seen much of EG or Cloud9. We've seen a little bit of Secret, seen a lot of Vici, and a decent amount of LGD and IG. So, what heroes do I expect to see? Well, you got your common 6.84 heroes. You've got the gyrocopter is the big one. Drow Visage just kind of increased in popularity. I think we'll see that at least once at this tournament. Yeah. Other heroes, there are a few heroes that are actually on the way in. Oh, we'll see Queen of Pain for sure. We'll see Beastmaster for sure, I think. A few other heroes. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. I don't prepare for these videos for some stupid reason. But anyway, a few heroes I am interested to see. I think we'll be surprised. I think there are going to be a couple heroes that we just flat out did not see coming at all. Probably from EG or Cloud9 because those teams are really innovative. Like in the past year, 2 years, almost all of the strats really came from one of those two teams. So yeah, A, because those teams are really innovative, and B, because they haven't played very much on the patch, or in the case of EG, they haven't played at all. So I think we're going to see some surprises come out from those two teams. But as far as other things, I think Darkseer is kind of on his way in after the Red Bull LAN. I think we could see him a couple games. And I think Weaver's also been on his way in. Not so much with these teams, but I have seen him quite a few times out there. So I would be pretty unsurprised to see a couple of Weavers as well. Uh, Other heroes, I mean, there are a lot of heroes. I don't really think we should see a lot of Chen. We're probably going to see a bit of Enchantress as well. But there are a lot of heroes that you can expect to see at this tournament, I think. A lot of these, a lot of things like Tier 1 teams haven't started playing around with a lot of the heroes yet, so like I said, I expect to see Gyrocopter, I expect to see Beastmaster, I expect to see all those 6.84 kind of popular heroes, but I also expect to see some new stuff. Maybe you'll even see some Sven. I've seen a few Sven games. I think he's pretty okay now, especially with Warcry. Warcry is ridiculous. Maybe Guardian Greaves Huskar. I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting to see, but I think Darkseer and Weaver are the two that are on their way in that we will probably see at least once each in this tournament. Probably more, honestly. I think we'll see a lot of those common heroes. But what's really interesting is who is going to be the surprise factor. Who are those heroes going to be? And I'm actually not 100% sure on that respect, right? You have to think about 6.84, the kind of kill meta, the kind of team fight meta, a lot less farm oriented. So I'm honestly not too sure what heroes might end up popping up. It's gonna be very interesting. I think Storm Spirit isn't gonna be picked. Hero was nerfed too hard in 6.84. He was a good ganker, pretty good team fighter. Queen of Pain we've been seeing a lot. We'll probably see her more, but yeah. Beastmaster. I don't know. I don't know who would be the real surprise factor. I wish I could, but I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if I could. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this tournament. I really advise watching this tournament. This is going to be a really good tournament, I think. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.